Friday, January 13th. Happy birthday to my buddy Mark Signs. Old dude, just like me. First dude to get me high. This week I was waiting all week to try to do it with Mark, but our schedules didn't line up, so we're gonna try to do that next week. Anthony's been gone for the last 2 to 3 weeks, so I'm by myself. And then I was like, I don't want to record. But then 9 o'clock, I get back from dropping off the kids, and I hear this knock at the door, loud knock at the door, and I go see who it is, and man, I was shocked. I've never even seen you before. I didn't even know about you, but it's my twin brother. Uh, Dude, you've known about me. No, dude, I had never even seen you before today. I tried calling mom and dad, my mom and dad, but I'm your fucking brother. I don't know how much more proof you need. Okay, so anyhow, my brother's here. Everybody, Marcus. Hello, everybody. So, how did this come about? How do I have a twin brother that I don't know about? I'm not really buying it. God damn it, look at me. We fucking look identical. Yeah, but I never even heard about you. Like, mom and dad never said anything about you. Well, maybe they fucking felt guilty for what they did. They got rid of me. They never even wanted me. Well, maybe they kind of knew fucking what you're gonna turn out like. What the fuck does that mean? Well, you've been here like 15 minutes and you've been kind of a dick. Okay. I'm the one who's a dick. I come here to tell you some shit, to try to help you, to try to put you on a path, and I'm the one who's a fucking asshole because I'm telling you shit that might hurt. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Yeah. So share. So help me. How are you going to better my life? Well, first off, how about we stop with the fucking social media shit? Oh my god, dude, fucking yoga with a kitty? You wrote kitty. You didn't write kitten. You wrote kitty. Yeah, I thought it was funny. And some people thought it was funny. I got like a couple likes. Oh, dude, you're so fucking lame. First off, why are you sharing yoga? I mean, come on, man. Dude, yoga's awesome. You should try it. You would probably... No, I'm not going to try fucking yoga. Holy shit. You know what you look like in those pictures? Dude, come on. Well, it seems like it's been really good for rehabbing my knee, like, because my knee was terrible. I've heard this story, man. Any kind of exercise, you probably get better if you're lifting weights and stop being a pussy. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine if you were strong. Imagine if you could do what I could do and you could push like near like a car off you because I'm fucking so strong. Yeah, dude, you look pretty big and strong. It looks like you look. I do. I lift a lot of weights. And I drink protein. I don't fuck around with this vegetarian shit. And yeah, man. It looks like it's working. So, but anyhow, I enjoy the yoga. It's good, breathing, everything else. You're writing a book on fucking MMA, and you're doing all this yoga stuff. All this. I don't know. Like, I'm not even going to say what it is. But we all know what it is. Okay. A lot of martial artists do yoga. A lot of football players. Dude, it's not easy. It's a hard thing. Yeah, I bet it is. Well, anyhow, I like it. In fact, I was teaching class last night, and I started with yoga. Even though I'm not a yoga instructor, I probably shouldn't be doing it. I would like 25 minutes, and everyone's struggling, man. But they're also benefiting from it. They're getting more flexible. Dude, just stop. Okay, let's just talk about something else. Let's talk about MMA because you've been talking a lot about that. In fact, you've been working on that shit for like 5 years. When are you gonna be done? It's taken me a while. I like to say there's a lot of good reasons for that. Maybe because you're high and you're a stoner and just a slacker. Maybe that's it. Maybe, dude, You're drinking at fucking 10 in the morning. Dude, I had one drink. Yeah, fucking 8 ounces. But, anyhow, man. The MMA book, no, I'm almost done with it, Unlocking the Cage. And I'm actually feeling pretty good about it. It took me a while, but I broke the book apart in like 80. Just fucking spit it out. What? Are you scared? These fucking pecs, right? You know I could fucking crush you if I wanted to. Yeah. You got me. Anyhow, I'm trying. So what I did, I spent the last week or so looking through the book, and then I would just clip sections that mention a certain fighter or a gym, and I'm sending those sections to the fighter so they could help correct me, because sometimes, the interviews weren't very long. They were a long time ago. I lost some interviews. Nice. Wasn't entirely my fault, but whatever. Yeah, we lost about 30 or 40 interviews, so that kind of sucked. Yeah, I bet. What a waste. So, anyhow, man, dude, just please let me finish my sentence. Fuck. You're in my house. Just relax, all right? Have another drink. Oh, maybe I should go outside and fucking smoke with you. Then I'll be cool, and then fucking I'll be all chill and shit. Yeah, and that's what I sound like. But it wouldn't be a bad idea, probably. Fucking, you can use it. Oh, yeah, no thanks. I don't need to get lung cancer, fucking get all stupid. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. But whatever. Maybe I'm the dumb one. So anyhow, back to the thing. I've been sending off all the sections to the fighters about halfway through, and the responses back from people are really cool. They seem to appreciate it. I always felt bad because I wasn't including that much about them. Because, dude, with so many fighters, one, I had to not mention like over 200 or so. So that sucked, like trying to pick which ones I would focus on. And then on those individuals, I couldn't go really deep. But one thing I'm doing is I told each of the fighters that, I was able to tell them what kind of impact that they had on me as well. Because some of it might not come across in the book. And even people that aren't mentioned in the book might have had a big impact on me that they're not aware of. So it's been cool to do all that. And then at the end of the ebook, I'm going to do a separate page for each fighter. And so that way we can do updates on the fighter. Because some of these people I didn't talk to for 4 years, 3 years, whatever. So updates on them. And then just their thoughts of what MMA is now, why they're doing it, if they're still doing it, if they have any regrets, if, whatever, and then a couple of quotes. So it's like, that should be nice. Who gives a shit about all that stuff? Like, dude, is that what the whole book is about? Like, you're talking about who these people are? Yeah, that's what the whole point of the book is. I was trying to figure out why people fight and who they are. Dude, they just go in there and fucking beat each other up. They just want to hurt people. No, I disagree, man. I've talked with quite a few, and I feel like that's definitely not the case. In fact, I'm putting out a survey on Monday. I just finished that up. You've been talking about that shit for years. Yeah, well, I finally fucking finished it. So, and it's going out Monday. And, yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm still deciding if I'm just going to give it to the fighters that I interviewed so I can have that as my sample, or if I'm going to expand it a little bit, because I have a lot of coaches that are excited about it that will help me. I know other fighters will help pass it to their friends. And so it wouldn't be a bad idea to get about 1,000 responses on this thing. And then what? And then I got to find someone to make sense of it. But it should be cool. No, I've talked with a couple professors, and we're going to find the right people that want to help me with it. And so I'm gathering all the data myself. Hopefully, I'm asking the right questions. And you didn't have anyone help you with this? I've had friends and stuff, but whatever. You know what I decided? I was like, it's my book. I'm going to write it the way I want. It's my study. I'll run it the way I want. And, dude, that's how I'm living my life now. Well, Lottie fucking da. Man, I used to be like you. I used to be all fucking angry and upset. And who the fuck said I'm angry? I don't know, man. You sound angry. You swear every other word. Dude, you say fuck all the time. I've read some of your stuff. Dude, you're no fucking angel. You know what? That's true. So I also realize that, man. I shouldn't judge anyone. I don't know what your life has been like and how it's been different. Yeah, you got no fucking idea. Okay, man. Like I said, yeah, I don't. Yeah. Well, another thing that was kind of cool too is with the book, when I was printing up the sections, I saw that I printed up a big section for Eddie Bravo with all the 10th Planet stuff. And that was something I was concerned with. I was like, how much did I write about it? I didn't want to put too much emphasis on it, even though I was around it a lot the second half of the project. And I interviewed a decent amount of fighters from there. I feel like I got rid of that bias and I didn't focus on them too much. And it ended up being 21 pages or so out of like 300. And so that's not bad at all. Like that's a much lower percentage than I thought it would be. But it still, explains why I like the system and just some of the guys that I experienced through there. But yeah, fucking 10p for life, man. Yep. So anyhow, no, I think all jiu-jitsu is awesome. I'm going to hopefully this week I will. I'm not going to say this week. It's probably not going to be for a couple weeks. I have to be a little bit more realistic. But I want to figure out who I'm going to get from the Gracies to help me with this foundation I'm putting together to get jiu-jitsu into high schools. I want to raise money to provide mats to help pay instructors from good schools in these areas. I think it's already happening. There's already some jiu-jitsu clubs, and so if we show these kids how to do it, if we show parents and kids how beneficial it is, and show the teachers, man, what that will do for bullying in high schools is amazing. What it'll just do for these kids. Martial arts are awesome. I encourage everyone do it. Or fucking go to the gym and lift weights. Yeah, man, that's good too. I think any kind of exercise, dude. I was a power lifter. I was trying to. My whole goal was to be bigger, stronger, faster than everyone else. Like that was the shit that was ingrained in me. That's well, you fucking didn't stick with it, did you? No, no. But now I could do shit that I could never do before. I could push up to a handstand now. I never thought that was even possible. Well, what the fucking do? MMA. That's being done, man. So I'm excited about that. And then I get to focus on the Try Not to Die. Super excited about that. That's another reason why I'm here. I don't know. Are you being? Did you talk to your wife about this? Like, who you're getting as your co-authors, and how many you're fucking trying to do? Because it sounds like you're not gonna be able to do it. You know what? I think I'm up for the challenge. I kind of feel like if I focus myself, if I tell myself what I'm going to do, not what I want to do, what I'm going to do. If I'm doing something positive, what the fuck does the positive thing have to do with anything? Like, why is it always about positivity with you? I don't know, just personal belief. Let's just chalk it up to that, dude. Fucking. But anyhow, no, I forgot what I was saying. And that doesn't have anything to do with the weed. No, it doesn't. You distracted me. I get distracted easily. I don't know. Whatever. Anywho, what were we talking about? Oh, no, Try Not to Die. It's going to be awesome, man. I'm excited. I think I don't know. We have like 10 to 12 books lined up, about 4 of those with fighters. And honestly, only 1 or 2 of these people has any writing experience. That's what I'm talking about. Well, like, why would you pick people to co-author with you that don't know how to write? Well, maybe because I believe everyone knows how to write. Just might not have practiced it yet. Oh, dude. But anyways, I think these are all friends of mine. They're all intelligent. I respect them. I think if they're motivated and if they're interested enough, like they could create some awesome stuff. And it's just by doing it together, and because they're short books, man, I'm gonna create this very, very cool series. Some of the some of the ideas that these people have come up with have been blowing me away. Like they're way better ideas than I would have came up with on my own. Yeah, but is that really saying a lot? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm a moron. Um, or maybe I'm fucking also super smart. Eh. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. But anyways, I like to pretend it sometimes. Anyhow, man, this has been interesting. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come here. I'm not sure where you're from, but hopefully you have a safe trip back. Well, fuck you too. Awesome, man. Anyhow, since I made you guys put up with that, I thought I would read a story. Instead of T Quillen doing it, I think we're out of those stories, or we only have one left, and I'm not even sure what it is. So that's another reason why I decided to do this instead of that. I figure I'll read you guys a story that hasn't even been published yet. We'll try it out. You guys let me know what you think. And I haven't even read this yet. All this is last minute. It's been a while since I've seen this story. So excuse me if I fuck it up at any point. But, alright. Gather around the fire. Let me have a sip of yerba mate and hold on. Actually, you know what? Let's pause this shit. I will go get my head straight and I'll be right back. Alright, we're fucking back. That douchebag is gone. I apologize. I should have I shouldn't have recorded that. But you know what? I shouldn't judge him either. Who knows what he's been through, like honestly. And I mean, a lot of them reminds me of who I was and where I was headed. And I mean, shit. And I still have lots of those same issues. So I guess I shouldn't judge. You know, whatever issues we do have, let's just try to get a little bit better on them every day. Or not. Who gives a fuck? Okay, guys. So this is a story I have never published and I have never read out loud. So this could be very interesting. It'll of course be when I do publish it. I will also have T Quillen narrate it and we'll put that out. But for now, this is just a little first look at crossing the line. There was nothing but sickness inside the ER, but it was too hot to wait outside for my ride. I grabbed a chair in the corner by the window, propped my elbow on the armrest and my throbbing hand against my chest. The aspirin had dulled some of the burning, but a raging headache made it difficult to keep my eyes open. When Gabe finally pulled up outside, I was more than a little irritated. The wooziness was still there when I walked to his truck, and it took me a bit to get in and do everything with my left hand. All I said was, "They had me stitched up an hour ago." Gabe whipped a left out of the parking lot, stomped on the gas. "You know how it is. I had to finish all the toe kicks before coming to get you." "What's the rush? The Johnsons aren't getting back till Tuesday." Gabe shrugged, kept his eyes on the road. "Look, I just do what I'm told. I got here as fast as I could." I didn't care much for the way Gabe was acting, like he'd forgotten I was the one who'd brought him into the business and taught him everything he knew. But I let it slide. It was a good thing to have hard-working employees. I thanked him for picking me up. "Not a problem. So what'd the doctor say?" "Told me to get some better gloves and to start wearing a hard hat. Fucking know-it-all." Gabe took a left on 7th. "How bad your injuries?" I pulled down the sun visor and checked my bandages in the mirror. Said my head's fine, that I was lucky the flat side of the 2x4 caught me. Probably have a headache for a day or two though. "What about your hand? You gonna be able to work?" I held it so he could see the ball of white gauze wrapped around it. Just a little scratch." "Yeah, right. I saw all that blood. It was only 7 stitches. You gonna be able to hold anything?" Careful not to touch the gauze, I drew a line from the middle of my palm to the bottom of my thumb. "Got the meaty part, but the cut wasn't too deep." "That's good." "The Puerto Rican nurse didn't think so. She kept making the sign of the cross and saying I cut right through my love line." "That's not where your love line is." Gabe turned right on Cherry, then pointed toward the top of his palm. "That's up here. She must have meant your lifeline." Everything was kind of fuzzy when she was talking, and to tell you the truth, I couldn't take my eyes off her tits. Man, you should have seen those things. Gabe didn't even crack a smile. I was busy working, remember? What's going on with you? We were behind schedule before you got hurt, and now I gotta work Saturday and Sunday for sure. You think I wanted to get hurt? I almost cut off my goddamn hand. I think you should have watched where you set up. You should have realized those beams weren't secure. I couldn't remember much about that morning, but doubted I'd set up somewhere unsafe. I also couldn't remember when Gabe or any other employee had talked to me with such disrespect. I don't know what's going on with you, Gabe, but you better relax. If you need time off, I'll bring someone else that won't bitch about it. Maybe Brad's got some buddies that'd be interested. You feeling okay? Maybe you got hit harder than you thought. Gabe slowed the truck and looked at me. I'm fine. We parked across the street from the Johnsons. Gabe cut the ignition and said, Well, since you brought him up, you should know Brad's not too happy about this. Don't say nothing, but he's pretty pissed. That I got hurt? Are you kidding me, Brad? Look, man, I'm not trying to be a dick or nothing, but you gotta see it like he does. You already missed half a day, and who knows how much more time you'll be out. Not to mention the increase in the workers' comp. Those are all things any boss would contemplate. But Brad wasn't the goddamn boss. I jumped out of the truck and headed straight for the garage. Brad stood next to the Johnson's BMW, flexing while holding his cell phone, acting like he wasn't. Halfway there, I had to slow down, my balance all screwed up. The dizziness cleared with some deep breathing, and I continued until I was a few feet from Brad. Brad kept chit-chatting, acted like he didn't notice me standing there. I wasn't about to keep waiting like a fool, so I interrupted him mid-sentence. Brad. He motioned to his phone, kept on talking, raised his eyebrows as if to say I was retarded for not saying he was busy. I said, Get off the goddamn phone. Brad ended his call. His cheeks were red, but he kept his voice low. You serious? I wanted so bad to punch him square in the nose, but didn't trust my ability using my left. Are you kidding me? Brad shoved the phone into his pocket and puffed out his chest. What's your problem, Andy? Who the hell do you think you're talking to? A scrawny little punk that's in serious need of an ass kicking? Brad's eyes got big. Who put you in charge? When I'm off site, Jonesy takes lead, and if he's not around, it goes to Gabe. You got that? Brad laughed, hard and long, sounding like a goddamn hyena. Jesus, Andy, you need to go home or back to the hospital. I don't think that doctor should have released you. I don't give two shits what you think. Who the hell do you think you are? Your boss. Now turn around, get in your car, and go home. You're lucky I don't fire you. My boss? This is some kind of joke, right? Where the hell are the cameras? I don't have time for this. Get out of here before I throw you out. Any other day I would have picked up a hammer and told him to give it his best shot, but right then I was having a hard time even keeping my feet. I'd deal with him later. The prick couldn't just let me walk away. Loud enough for everyone to hear, Brad said, And don't come back until you got your head straight. Sorry, but we don't need any psychos on the site. It took everything I had not to turn around, but I kept walking until I was standing at my fire engine red F-350. When the door didn't open, I pulled out my keys and hit the unlock button. The door still wouldn't open, so I pressed the lock button to see if the remote was working. My truck didn't chime, but the primer at El Camino across the street beeped. I'd never seen that car before, but I figured one of my employees must have switched keys with me as some kind of joke. I wasn't going to give them a show. As cool as I could, I walked over and glanced at the driver's side window, but couldn't see past the thick coating of dust. When I started to get in, I noticed a sign on the back of my truck. Someone had scraped off the Andy's Carpentry Express logo and replaced it with one that read, Cabinets by Brad. They even put Brad's cell number down as a contact. I wanted to fire everyone, but that wouldn't have been fair. No way would my whole crew have been involved. I was too well respected for that shit. I got in the car, hoping to narrow down who was behind the childish prank. Whoever was doing it was a smoker, something I wouldn't tolerate on a job site and could barely handle anywhere else. Cigarette butts filled the ashtray. Disney stickers plastered the peeling dashboard, and inside the cup holder were a dozen pennies submerged in a half-inch of soda. Careful not to touch anything, I leaned across the seat and popped open the glove box. A handful of hot sauce packets and a stack of napkins, several crumpled and stained, tumbled out. It took some digging around before I found the registration. I scratched off the hardened ketchup on the front of the slip. The yellowed piece of paper said I was the owner. This was no forgery like I'd ever seen. Either someone had gone way out of their way to screw with me, or I was losing it. There was no question I shouldn't be driving, but I needed to get home. I double-checked the registration to make certain the address in my head matched up with the reality. The car started on the third try. The sun shining through the grimy windshield made my stomach flip, and I just barely held on to my breakfast. I squinted my eyes and focused on Tanya. She had a bit of a temper and would be pissed at me for getting hurt, but she was a good woman. She'd take care of me and help sort things out. Bring Sammy home from school. One of her 30-second hugs, exactly what I needed. There was a shiny Nissan Frontier in the driveway, so I parked on the street. I wondered how the hell I got talked into buying un-American, and why there wasn't a booster seat in the back. A wave of paranoia washed over me at the front door. The key fit perfectly, but I was afraid to turn it. I pulled it together and went inside, leaned against the living room wall, no longer sure of anything. Had Tanya rearranged things, or had it always been like this? What about the scattered toys I didn't remember buying, and the missing big screen TV? A loud grunt came from the hallway. Maybe Tanya, moving stuff in the bedroom. I pushed open the last door on the left. The woman on my bed was too thin to be Tanya. The dirty blonde was spread-eagled, holding her feet above her head, like a malnourished infant discovering her toes. I didn't recognize the guy between her legs, but whoever it was, neither of them had business in my bedroom. Holding onto the door frame with my good hand for support, I said, "The hell are you guys doing?" The woman screamed and bucked the guy off. He hit the floor, scooped up his jeans, and dove out the window. She scrunched into a ball against the headboard and kept yelling. My head felt like it was going to burst. I said, "Calm down." She peeked over her forearm, her sea-green eyes unmistakable. "What are you doing here?" I hadn't seen her since high school, my very first girlfriend. "Karen?" The truck screeched out of the driveway and screamed down the street. Karen sat up, everything exposed. "Why are you home so early?" I pointed at my head. Didn't think I could speak. "Jesus Christ, Andy." Karen grabbed a hot pink waitress uniform off the IKEA nightstand. "You're not even mad. You don't even care." I reached out for the dresser and steadied myself. "Why are you here?" Karen slid off the bed and onto the dirty yellow carpet I remembered as an impeccably white shag. She stormed into the bathroom. "You're such a spineless shit. I should have told Todd he could stay." The door slammed shut. Karen said some more things that don't need repeating. There were pictures on the dresser. 3, just like always. But these ones were different. The 5x7 to the left was me and Karen at the prom we never went to. She'd been doing things she shouldn't have, so I called it off the week before. The largest was an 8x10 of the diner's Christmas party. Karen with a Santa hat and rosy cheeks. The cook's big smiling face behind her shoulder, his hand planted right on her ass. There were 4 kids in the 5x7 to the right. The oldest boy looked about 12 and was way too cute to be mine. The twins sitting in front of him were about 8 or 9, my lump of a nose on both of them. By their feet was a baby girl. It was Sammy, but with brown hair and dull eyes. Not my Sammy. Over in the bathroom, Karen kept yelling. I was a coward. I was a pussy. She needed a real man. That's when I knew this was no joke. I knew that for sure. Just like I knew that it couldn't be real. In front of the 8x10 was a pack of Marlboros and a lighter. I grabbed them both and sat on the bed. Did my best to block Karen out. The cigarette tasted like shit, but I still lit it and pulled long and hard. I held the smoke for 5 seconds. Blew it out like an old pro. I put out the cigarette on the sheets Karen just fucked on. I waited to see if it caught fire, but not because I cared. Whether or not I was crazy, this was my life. It didn't matter if it had always been this way or if it just changed today. The sick feeling in my gut told me all that mattered was I was stuck with it. The lighter slipped between my fingers, but I was fast. Caught it with my right hand. A blast of pain making me yelp like a little girl. I dropped the lighter and watched the bandages go from white to red, a thin line spreading across the meaty part of my palm, across the lifeline that nurse kept harping on. I pulled out my pocket knife and sliced off the bandages. 3 of the stitches had come undone, the blood oozing out of the small slit. I pursed my lips around my teeth. I put the blade under the first stitch and snapped it. Did the next 3 real quick to get it over with. Blood flowed from the wound, but I barely felt it. My mind was racing, trying to figure out what I should do. Karen called my name. When I didn't answer, she said it again, all the anger gone. I know you're still in there. My palm. That stupid little line that had been cut in half. I couldn't undo the cut, but I could make a new one. From the bathroom, Karen said, Todd means nothing to me. I love you. You know that. You have to. The blade plunged into the intersection of wound and lifeline. With a 1/4 inch of the blade beneath my skin, I dragged the knife straight to the bottom of the middle finger. I was pointing toward the bathroom door. Karen kept trying. Can you forgive me, baby? I dropped the knife on the deep red carpet that grew darker as the blood poured from my wound. The bathroom door opened. It wasn't Karen. It was someone else I hadn't seen in a long time. The person whose name was never spoken in this house. Ever. Not since the fight she had with her big sister Tanya. I covered the knife with my boot, hid my hand against my thigh. Lisa was dressed like a lawyer, her dark brown hair up in a tight bun. She was as beautiful as I remembered, so smart and sophisticated in her glasses. She took one look at my head and asked, My God, what happened to you? She wasn't acting like it'd been 12 years since I'd seen her, the time I pulled her off Tanya, but not before Lisa had left her mark. I couldn't imagine any reality where Lisa would be let in our house. I asked, Where's Tanya? Lisa stopped 4 feet away. Why would you ask that? My hand was leaking all over the satin sheets. I grabbed the bandage, held it tight as I could. I'm not feeling very good. Lisa's voice went soft, just like it'd been when she tried to convince me I deserved better than Tanya. She sat beside me, brought the sweetest breeze. It was hard to talk with my hand on fire, but I tried to explain. Mild concussion. Just not feeling myself today. Lisa put her hand on my neck, gave the lightest squeeze. You gonna be okay? You want me to kiss it? I had a crush on Lisa before I even met Tanya. It was hard not to say yes to that voice, that smell, that body. I hadn't said a word, but Lisa kissed me anyway, her dark red lips so soft on my cheek. She got up and offered her hands. Come on, baby, I'll make everything better. Too weak to resist, I got up with her holding my left hand, my right hand behind my back. Her arms wrapped around me, made me feel safe. You gotta be more careful out there. Gabe sounded pretty concerned. The dresser stood in front of me, the 3 picture frames right where they'd always been. A yellow lab in the first one, a blue bandana around his neck, his hair just combed. The other 5x7 had been taken in the same studio, me in a turtleneck, Lisa a cashmere sweater, both of us smiling. Lisa slid one hand around to my front. What's wrong, baby? The 8x10 was our wedding, up on a cliff overlooking the ocean. Lisa nuzzled into my neck and undid my belt buckle. That's better. Relax. I wasn't relaxed. I was looking around the room. Not at the vases, the paintings, the rugs. I was searching for another picture. One was Sammy. Lisa pulled down my zipper. I took a step back. Her thin little hips and flat stomach told me everything I needed to know, but I asked anyway. We have any kids? Lisa sounded worried. You better sit down. I said, No kids? No, Sammy? She was staring at the bloody knife, the puddle around it. Andy, you're scaring me. Let's get you to the hospital. I snatched up the knife and brought my mangled hand onto my lap, the bandage so heavy with blood. Lisa gasped. What are you doing? It's not you. Put it down. The blade hit bone, almost made me pass out. I dragged the knife through my flesh and fell to the floor, my knees a loud bang on the hard wood. A woman shouted, Jesus Christ, Andy, what are you doing? I looked up and saw Tanya. Despite all the pain, I'd never been so happy. Tanya ripped the sheet from the bed and wrapped my hand. She took the knife away and said, Are you crazy? I lost you. I lost you and Sammy. She kept pressure on my hand and pulled me to my feet. Well, I'm here now, but we got to get you to the hospital. Not the one off of Maine. We're going to the closest one. You lost a lot of blood. Is Sammy okay? Tanya turned to me and said, Of course she is. I hadn't noticed it before, but the scar above Tanya's right eye was no longer just a scar. The whole area was depressed, that eye made of glass. Tanya turned my chin to the side. What's that? I could barely think straight, had no idea what she meant. I wanted to ask what happened to her face, if I hadn't been there to break up the fight, if I'd been too slow to get the rock away from Lisa. That's not my shade. I wiped at my cheek, got blood everywhere. I didn't even kiss you today. My hand, it's my hand. Her good eye glared, the knife clenched in her fist. Who was it? I took a step back and said, You don't understand. The blade was only 4 inches, but pointing at my heart. Who the fuck was it? Lisa kissed me, but... Tanya pushed me onto the bed, leapt at me with a knife. My right hand was useless. With my left, I grabbed hold of her wrist, the blade trembling just inches from my chest. You weren't here! Tanya raked her nails across my face, tried to gouge my eye. I rolled us over so I was on top of her, but I lost the knife in the scuffle. I used my knees to pin down her left hand, then her right. The knife not in either. Her wheeze made me look. The knife lodged in her throat. I tried to save her, but it was no use. First time Tanya ever gave up a fight. I propped myself up, so I only see Tanya in the pictures. The pictures keep changing with each pass of the blade, but Tanya never moves. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. That was Crossing the Line. Yeah, I'm excited. As soon as I get that collection together, don't know when that will be, I will have T. Quillen narrate that and we will put that out. Alright, thanks for listening. I will talk to you guys next week. Peace.